Yeah, so we do see that the bans, SMG takes out Uther, and then Clairvoyant Gaming taking out Zeratul. Again, we talked about last game, Zeratul is becoming a high priority ban now just because of how powerful Void Prism is, and then I think we saw a game last week where Glaurung did like 60k damage and topped on Zeratul, so he is quickly becoming one of the most feared heroes in game.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Void Prison, honestly, it's just so frustrating to play against too. Like, you go into these team fights and you have all these fancy plans, and you get Void Prison and you just cry. But somebody else is stealing the spotlight here. Let's check out this draft. Clairvoyant, everybody's seen it by now. Yep. Rocking that Rhaegar, Kerrigan, Stitches, Brightwing, Illidan.
Before we go into the crazy Illidan pick, there's something I'm a bit curious about. We see the first pick Tychus from the SMG, and then we see the follow-up Rhaegar Kerrigan, giving them the Tychus, or the Tassadar, and the Arthas. Please explain.
Okay. So, I'm not even going to attempt to be on the same level as Clairvoyant here, because they're very clearly way ahead of me. But if I had to guess, they know for sure that if Tychus and Tassadar are up, SMG will take them. The same with Arthas. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to fight in a different way from SMG. You see them take Odin, Archon, and Arthas. All of those are really strong, but kind of immobile, right?
Right.
So I think what Clairvoyant is doing is they baited them into that big high-power ultimate choice selection, those 120-second cooldowns. They baited them into those, and they're going to try and abuse the low mobility factor and really kind of just bulkiness of that team composition. They're going to try to abuse that with the Stitches picks and maybe the Brightwing Emerald Wind. We might see some of that, and I think Ancestral Healing is actually going to be fantastic here.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point. You know, normally I would look at this and go, well, even in that case, you gave them Tassadar, Tychus, Arthas, but Clairvoyant Gaming has pulled off weird things in the past, and they try and strive to be unique. So, I mean,
yeah. Well,
if anyone can do it, it's them.
If anyone can do it, it's them. Let's see if the strategy worked out, or if they fell fat on their face as soon as I get this replay loaded up.
Oh,
what do you think Illidan is
loaded?
Oh no, it's don't even worry, it's definitely loaded. Oh. But before we get into it, do you think Illidan's going to go Hunt or Metamorphosis? Are we going to make Trixler happy, or is he going to be upset at us?
I mean,
that's what I need to know.
If the game lasts longer than 10 minutes with an Illidan, if it gets level 10, it should be over before then. It's Illidan, man. It's Illidan.
You think so?
Yeah,
you think if they get to level 10, he's just going to pick the I win ultimate? That's the one Illidan's going to pick?
If you're still in the game at level 10 on an Illidan, then you've automatically won you're the best player in the World War.
Was that new in this patch? Because I think I might have actually missed that in the patch notes.
Yeah, it was a stealth buff to Illidan that Blizzard did. They were just like, this hero is so bad that if you can make it to level 10, you just win.
Oh, well, that was really nice of them, I would say.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems like that's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. Anyway, guys, thanks for bearing with us while the Dunk Train makes his mistakes. Here we go. Let's leave these up for just a second so I can hide that replay timer. Get it going. Normal speed. 5 seconds in. Are you ready, Zoya?
I am ready, Freddy.
All right. I'm checking out that Symbiote on the left side. Let's start off these introductions in 3, 2, 1. You got that Dreadnought on Tyrael, Mad Timmy on that Malfurion, Arthalon rocking the Tychus, Kaio, Tassadar, and if I can find him, there we go, Soldier on the Arthas.
And then for Clairvoyant Gaming, we have Hawkfu on the Stitches, Descent on the Illidan, March on the Kerrigan, Suki on the Rhaegar, and Notorious Dig on the Brightwing.
Absolutely. It's going to be sick. Let's get it going.
I'm pretty hyped about this match. Just I like watching Clairvoyant play, you know.
Yeah. I think they've quickly risen to become at least caster favorites, just because they try crazy things and it's fun to watch. Now, what I will say here is that we have a Master Skin Illidan in the game, and we're not rocking any Master Skins on SMG, so clearly the level 1 advantage goes to Clairvoyant for having a Master Skin. Hook in Arthas, that's not who you want. And looks like Clairvoyant just going to disengage after that hook on Arthas. Not the right target at all.
It's fine, you know, the yellow hooks, they need to happen every once in a while. You know, if they would have grabbed someone else, like that Malfurion, that would have been great. Yeah. But, you know,
hooking Malfurion is the dream, for sure.
Especially against this team. He's the only one without a real out.
Yeah.
Unless he gets the silence, then it's kind of like hook, silence, everyone's dead.
Whoa, Team Clairvoyant getting crazy, starting those level 1 ogres. Dropped a healing totem from Rhaegar to help Illidan and Kerrigan. get level 1 ogres.
Healing Ward was already becoming almost broken pre-buff. Like SMG was running it like on every support, and then some teams they were getting 2 healing wards, healing for 4% at a time on everybody.
Yeah.
Now with the 3% buff, I mean, we're gonna be seeing a lot more healing wards.
Whoa, Team Clairvoyant, looks like they made a mistake, misevaluated their strength there, and didn't finish those ogres?
What?
Yeah, I don't know. It looks like the ogres reset. They didn't take them, so maybe they hadn't tried this before, but they're gonna try and salvage it with a gank here on Arthalon, and he dashes out of the Kerrigan pull just in time, but SMG is secured to turn in at 2 minutes, Zoya. That's gonna start the bombardment in the mid lane.
Yeah, it's really, actually, really fast. They're gonna be, and of course, not enough damage just yet on that inner fort, so it won't fall, but the SMG immediately capitalizing on the fact that 2 heroes were missing, and here they go again, going for the golems.
Yeah, I mean, they went for the golems, but Suki just died in that bottom lane, gave up first blood to that Arthas Tyrael roam, and I mean, this is a really bad place to be for Clairvoyance. They've taken a ton of damage in their mid lane. They're going to be behind in experience as soon as SMG caps this night camp. They're going to be just way ahead.
Yeah,
Clairvoyant's going to have to get to level 10 to get that Illidan buff kicked in, man. It's going to be hard.
You know, I went in with optimism, and I'm still going to be a little bit optimistic for Clairvoyant, but this squad is just so disgustingly scary from SMG. You got Arthas Tyrael roam squad with a Tychus support and an Attacker. That's just...
Yeah, and one of the things we didn't mention, we talked about it a little bit when we were talking about the ultimates that SMG has, the Odin Archon. We just touched on how powerful those are and how long cooldowns are, but one of the most fundamental things about those is that they're really at their best when you're up at the enemy's base, right? Because you can pop them and the enemy loses their base if they don't fight you. And if Clairvoyant is on the back foot and always on the defensive, then SMG is always going to be in position to pop those big transformation ultimates and end up taking a building with them, and that's really bad for Clairvoyant. They want to be on the offensive, poking at the enemy's base, looking to get those Odin and Archon popped, and then just back out immediately.
Or just use Hawk Fu for picks here and there and turn it into a 5-4. I mean, they have a few options they can work with, but starting out a little behind is not something they want. I do like the fact that both teams are roaming very well and securing a lot of coins. We're already seeing top knights being taken by Soldier and Green Knight, for SMG and Pirates being taken by Clairvoyant.
Yeah, Illidan kind of recovered a bit. He's got 5 coins on him now. Let's see if he can hang on to those. Maybe because he's blind, it'll fumble him, you know, drop him. It can be hard to keep track of those things, I imagine.
Yeah. It definitely can.
Does he have his pockets like labeled with Braille? I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know.
That was the worst joke. That was a sham level joke. Come on.
That was you know what? Honestly, sham to be proud, but everyone else should just be disappointed. Just disappointed. Here we see a Night Camp pushing top for SMG. That Malfurion just putting some pressure on, going to consume a lot of that ammo, but he's going to back up because he's a little scared, doesn't have the watchtower right now. Although SMG, mostly in a commanding position around the map, feel like they're ahead everywhere. Getting some damage on Suki with that Arthas root, but it's not going to be enough to really threaten him.
He has to be careful though. He can quickly die to this combination. Yeah. We do see Hawk Fu and March taking the Knife's top lane. Now SMG is 2 points short of another turn in here. They're already on the verge of that, and Pirates are up in a minute on their side.
Yeah, it looks like Rhaegar actually went down on that bottom lane. He overstayed at that fort. Now it's really worth noting that those forts don't provide you that much protection, even this early in the game, as long as the other team has a creep wave there, which SMG did for a little while, and that just means that Rhaegar died under that fort. He got dived, but Malfurion overextended the top side, gets caught as well by Clairvoyant. Now we see Knights pushing top here, and it looks like Clairvoyant's gonna go for that Grave Golem. This is early and aggressive, but Malfurion's dead. I kind of like it. Yeah,
Malfurion's dead. They do see that there are 3 people pushing bot lane, and they have the watchtower. So basically, as many of the odds could be stacked in their favor were, and they took the Grave Golem. They're taking the Grave Golem now. With the Knights already damaging the wall, they probably won't be able to take this fort as Malfurion and Tychus are already headed up here. I guess they already know that what's going on because they haven't seen anybody in a while.
Yeah, absolutely. Team SMG knows kind of what the plan is here, and they've got people in position. They're level 10 to level 9. Now, I don't know if the level 10 to 9 advantage is good enough to beat a Grave Golem, though. So we're going to have to see how that works out, and even if SMG wants to initiate here. But instead, they've got Tastar in that bottom lane getting an experience advantage, and they just got to turn it. So they're going to kill that mid fort and take even more of an advantage. They might even get top fort because it had so much damage on it before that bombardment started.
Yeah, they might actually get tougher. That's actually pretty scary. Haku has to be very careful right now. Obviously itching for a hook here, but if you pull the wrong person against this comp, that can go south. You don't want to hit Dread Knight or Soldier at all. That would be worst case scenario.
Absolutely. And we see now that SMG's level 11, but Clairvoyant's gotten level 10, so not that overwhelming advantage they had, that 10 to 9 gap. And Clairvoyant didn't manage to take the top fort. They haven't gotten a bombardment turret at the mid fort, and the bottom fort looks totally healthy. So I would say Clairvoyant is just way behind on overall structure damage here, and that's going to hurt them moving into the mid game, because if you don't have that early structure damage, it's going to take so many more progress to kill the base. Oh, Hawkfu coming in with the bile. Oh man, that is unexpected. March in the front line on the killing against the ancestral healing, but it looks like he's going to go down anyways. Super low. Oh, the Malfurion Silence takes him out, and it also catches Notorious DIG and the other healer, and that is going to be a team fight loss.
A huge loss for Clairvoyant Gaming. I kind of had the feeling that Bad Timmy would go for the silence. It works really well against our squad. It does a lot of damage. It's one of the few silences in the game. It kind of fell off for a bit when those burst-heavy comps became really popular, and people were going Tranquility, but the silence was really nice touch there.
Oh yeah, the silence there actually hit Rhaegar, Brightwing, and Kerrigan, and all of those targets, not only kind of squishy, but really vulnerable to silences. I mean, Kerrigan's tankiness depended on being able to cast her abilities. Rhaegar and Brightwing both need their abilities, obviously from abilities, so they're not like an auto attacker who can just switch to using auto attacks like a Vala or a Tychus who doesn't mind that much. I mean, that was just a huge silence there. Yeah. That team fight went from like going okay to just done when that silence came out.
You know, they did a great job of keeping Mark alive initially. Suki used his big heal on March, and Dig was trying to keep him up as well, but even with the two healers focusing March, they were able to kill the Kerrigan. It's Arthas, Tychus, Tassadar, I mean.
Yeah, I feel like this strategy where the Kerrigan is the... Oh, here we see a hook on Matt Timmy. It's a good hook, but it doesn't look like he's going to go down. His teammates peeling up for him. Here we see another engaged soldier on March, but March gets the huge ancestral healing. Meanwhile, Hawkfu in the backline with that bile, getting the damage on Matt Timmy and Kaio, but it's not enough to set, trying to do that Arthalon, but Arthalon's just standing there. Silence comes out, cleans up that Clairvoyant team, and Illidan, the last one alive in that Metamorphosis, does manage to take down Arthalon and the Tychus after everything, but that is a 5-for-1 in favor of SMG.
It's the double healing ward in that fight. Like, the time that it was up, which I guess is another reason why they took Silence instead of Tranquility. With the two healing wards down there, I was just sitting there watching the health of SMG the entire fight. Until the healing wards fell, no one dipped below 3/5 HP. They were all just sitting at top of HP. It's so absurd.
I mean, Tyrael and Arthas are really tanky, really high health pools, so those healing wards, because they're percent based, are going to help them even more, and they're already hard to kill. I just don't see Clairvoyant having enough damage to cut through that front line. They need to start taking these asymmetrical fights and start getting picks with that hook. Yep. They need stuff like that so that they don't just smash their faces into the Odin Archon.
Yeah. It's kind of cool they're trying something new, but, I mean, even with the healing wards, who do you have to take those out? Unless you're in the middle of the healing ward, the only ranged attack they have is Brightwing, and Brightwing can't be up there auto-attacking these healing wards. That's...
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
This is just a rough fight for Clairvoyant. Every team fight, you're right 100%, they have to get picks.
SMG coming in here strong, that 16-13 advantage. Soldier, Roots, Dig, and March. It's going to be bad. Tyrael comes in. Hawkfu trying to distract the backline with that bile, but he gets taken last to dip out. March coming in, trying to combo that SMG team. He gets some stuns off. He gets a lot of healing from that shield. Ancestral coming in. Always doing so much damage in that AoE, but Stitches goes down on the side, and it looks like SMG, due to that level advantage, going to be able to clean this up.
We saw for a moment, though, what Clairvoyant was trying to do with this build in this fight. It's the first time we've actually seen it. They kept that Kerrigan alive for so long that it was starting to look like Clairvoyant might be able to swing this around. But unfortunately, just the leveling, having that 16-14 advantage, and it, you know, just being as heavy hitting as SMG is with the Arthas, Tychus, Tassadar damage, it just wasn't enough. I could see it there. I could see what their potential was with that build.
That fight was, by all rights, way closer than it should have been in a 16-13 engagement. So I understand what they're trying to do, but like you said, it's just, oh man.
Maybe if they were playing like this at the start.
Yeah, if they had taken engagements like that from the level 11 to level 10, I think they could have won. But still, I mean, Hawkfu with that bile, it seemed interesting, but I don't know how impactful it's honestly been. He's gone into the backline, tried to distract them, tried to get some damage and slowing on. Oh, huge hook here on Mad Timmy. Here's the situation though. If he had Gorge, is that just a kill if he has Gorge?
I don't
And now Descent overextended. Looks like he's gonna get taken down. Oh, maybe not. He doesn't get hit by the silence. Now Mad Timmy getting turned on. Stitch has got that bio pop, but it's not gonna be enough to kill Mad Timmy, and now we see the re-engage by SMG onto that backline. Tyga's coming in from the left side, manages to kill Illidan. March gets the Ancestral, he's up full health, but now we see the Odin Archon popped, and that is going to be a team fight for SMG as soon as big ults come out.
Just immediately swung in their favor. I want to point out what Haku did there, did a really good job. Actually went up and smacked down both of those healing wards. Realizing how much they're doing. It's just, once it became aware to my knowledge how powerful that was, like I just love watching people's health bars when there's a healing ward down. It's just...
And you're talking about how powerful healing wards are? Check out that score screen. We see the 2 frontliners on Team SMG, no deaths. Arthas actually has Hero of the Storm, material 1 kill away. I mean, that is absurd how tanky this frontline is. There's just nothing Clairvoyant can do about it.
I wish the healing wards would pop up on healing done, because the number would be absurd. Like right now, everyone's below 20k on SMG because Malfurion's not going healing, like pure healing. He went for the silence, but the healing from those healing wards, they would be easily like over 40,000.
Yeah, I mean those healing wards are being absolutely huge here. And this is the downside. The Kerrigan is good against squishy people, so is Illidan, but they don't have the team to come through that on this material front line. And we see them taking another engage here. They're trying to fight while the Odin Archon is down. Mad Timmy is getting really low. March in the back line does manage to take him out with the ultimate. Tori's DIG falling though, and that's just too many. And Clairvoyant dead in the time it took them to kill that Malfurion.
It was really well done there by Clairvoyant. They polymorphed the Malfurion and were able to burst him down before he could Twilight Dream off, but it's just too late at this point. It's 24 kills to 5 guys in favor of SMG. Level 19 to 16. Every fort is exposed with catapults right now. Soldiers already just going ham on the palace. This might just be GG right here.
Yeah, this is for sure GG. I mean, there's only 10 seconds left on Illidan coming back, but I'm pretty sure SMG just runs it here and ends it. The Odin and Archon are up now because they weren't up for that fight, and that's why Clairvoyant engaged. It was their last-ditch effort. Odin and Archon not up, but now that they're up here and Clairvoyant lost that fight, they're just going to walk into the corner and this is going to go down. There's nothing Clairvoyant can do about this.
Is this Illidan's first appearance in ECS?
And this Illidan is rocking. You know why he lost, Zoya? You know why he lost?
Why?
Metamorphosis.
Metamorphosis,
That's what Trixler's going to say.
Yeah, I agree. You gotta take the hunt, man. The hunt is real.
Clearly, Trixler knows what's going on, but that is a pretty dominating win there for SMG. Some interesting strategies trying to be done by Clairvoyant there, but it didn't look like it quite worked out. It looks like
we could see it though. That's the cool thing though. We can see what they're trying to go. You know, once they work on either early game mechanics and just overall strategy, builds like this can work with Clairvoyant. That's the cool thing. They're good at exploiting these new things in these crazy builds. So once they fix their early game a bit, we can actually see that being a